Hello there and welcome. This video is about the new map update Relic have unleashed upon us today. It's a big post that came from Kyle, and it's highlighting mostly the efforts of one particular community member with a cohort of helpers, Sturmpanther, who I've got live with me today. Hello, Sturmpanther.
Hello, A.
Or Strumpanther, as Kyle has called you. In this.
Sure, he failed.
Yeah, but you've been doing a crap ton of work, haven't you, this year?
Yeah, indeed. I started on May this year about thinking about, okay, maybe we can balance maps as well, because balance in this game is not only about units, it's always about the map. So I was thinking about it. So that was the start, and then, like in August or something like that, I saw, hey, what's about kicking out some maps as well? So it's both. It's reworking map and vote kick out.
Excellent, and that's it, all what this post is about. So this is one of those what I like to call labour of love projects. I would not be speaking to Sturmpanther today and giving him a big pedestal unless he deserved one. This guy has worked his bollocks off, quite frankly, this year. A lot of guys have helped him, notably you've had Siphon X, of course, with his excellent statistics, Capicua, Lord Rommel, Pig Soup, Monolithic Bacon, White Flash, all famous map makers. They've all banded together and the work has been phenomenal. This, what you'll see on the screen now, is a 89-page Google document, the working document that everybody was using, and they've literally gone through everything with a fine-tooth comb and tried to improve. How many maps have you tried to improve there? What did you get the count up to? It looks like you've improved so many.
I didn't count it, but it's a lot of it. It's from 1 versus 1 to 4 versus 4 for each player, new changes.
And just so we can get straight into some of the changes, I'm going to very quickly launch into the changes for one particular map. It's a Relic created map, or a Company of Heroes 2 revision of a Company of Heroes 1 faithful, Semoisky Winter. So for the YouTube users amongst you, I'm very quickly going to just go through the changes on screen. But, so if you want to pause the video at any point, you can see what the changes are. That's what we're on, about 8 or 9 bullet points. And I think the best way to display that is obviously have a look at it in-game right now. So this is Semoisky Winter that we're all familiar to seeing, and I believe Sturmpanther has the video up as well. I mean, to start in the bottom of the screen, the famous fuel point, even that's changed, hasn't it?
You mean the bottom right fuel, right?
The bottom right fuel, it's come in towards the bridge. And also the northern fuel has come in. What was the thinking behind changing the positioning of the fuel points there, Sturmpanther?
Yeah, the first point was the timing. If you set up from north and south side the timing, it should be the same way, the same timing. And the second one, we didn't focus first on the fuel. The main focus was about the cutoffs for the munition points.
Okay.
On the bottom right side, we didn't change anything. That's the normal cutoff. It's the live cutoff. But on the north side, we moved it far forward to the north right base because it was in symmetry. So this will be a huge change as well, the new cutoff for the munition point.
So none of this is super final, I believe. There is time to get some small changes in, but for the most part, this is Semoisky Winter as we see it. And I think a big notable change, which I think is going to be a really good change for the better, is the famous ice lake of Nagano's Peril. That has been altered quite significantly, hasn't it?
Yes, indeed. After the command panther died on Hans, we said definitely this ice is a broken stuff, so we reduced it. And also big stuff on every map I call it right now, we removed deep snow and deep mud. Thanks God.
I've heard about that. General mud is now just general, apparently. But that's one of those things that I believe was great from an aesthetic point of view, and even from a military realism point of view. However, for a gameplay standpoint, it didn't ever really add anything. Having your units going stupidly slowly, much like my replay is here, this is pretty much the walking speed a Pioneer would have in going through deep snow. So that's a commendable change, in my opinion. Is there anything else we haven't touched upon on Semoisky in particular?
No, only and the house as well. We moved the house on the fuel, like you saw, a little bit more to the fuel side to balance it. It was more on the left side, the fuel north house.
But this is just to highlight one set of changes for one particular map. There are many maps that have been changed all the way through 1v1, 2v2, 3v3 and 4v4. But that's changes. There have been some removals, haven't there? Could you talk us through the removals, please, Sturmpanther?
What do you mean exactly?
The removals from the auto match rotation pool. If you could start with 1v1 and work your way to 4v4, it'd be good just to have a little insight, not too much detail, just a little bit of insight into why these maps were removed.
Okay, the first point was I was thinking about what's about make more vetoes for all the mods from 1v1 to 4v4, because always when you play this mod, I guess you have the feeling as well, I'm missing vetoes, man. I don't want this map as well, but I have no veto anymore left. So I decided we don't get more vetoes, but we remove some maps so it's balanced as well. For the 1v1, definitely most hated map was the Prigna's Forest. It's a very strange map. It's completely, I made a poll for the community and it's the highest vote for everything. So nobody wants it anymore. And also like Leise it was kind of a 4v4, 3v3 map who got converted to a 1v1 map, which doesn't work.
No.
So this map got removed as well. And two other maps as well. In 2v2 you have the same problem. There are a lot of maps. Actually, we had 20 maps in the live match. It's 20 fucking maps in 2v2 and only 6 or 7 veto, which is nothing.
Not enough.
Yeah, in 1v1, 3v3, 4v4, there are like 14 maps, but not 20, so it was crazy as fuck. So I suggest to move 6 maps away, first 4, and then I hear that we have a map contest, which means we have 4 maps back. So we had 20 maps as well, and it would be bad. So Relic and me came to the conclusion, okay, we kick out 6 maps and rebalance a lot of maps. So the new system should be work. So I think actually when you play 1v1 to 4v4, that you maybe have the point to say, I have a veto left, but I don't need it.
Nice. I think that'd be a good standpoint to be in. It's not so much you feel like Stalin with a pistol trying to get rid of as many maps as you possibly can, and you just don't have enough bullets.
Indeed. The last thing on 3v3 and 4v4, one map which is got hated as fuck is Montague's region. It was a TH1 map. This map was good in TH1, but not worth it in 2v2, and it completely killed. We raped it. We killed it. It was no sense. Go away.
There we go. And I'm just getting some lovely pictures of Montague's region up on the screen now. I believe it's coming here as one map originally, but
yeah, it was
never seemed to work in Co2. So that's one of the biggest points, that a lot of maps have been removed. The least popular, and it was all due to statistical evidence. We had official vetoes, we had unofficial statistics reporting from Siphon X, and then of course we had the polls, which I'll try and include in the description of this YouTube video, just so you can have a look at the kind of work that went into this. Now, I think we should also highlight one further thing before we wrap this interview up, and that is another bout of changes for a famous map. That's Trois. I can't say it in French, but Trois. Can you say it?
Yeah. No, I say always Troy's Point.
Troy's Point. Okay.
Yeah, I find
so
Trois
Point. Okay. I've got a list of changes on the Google Doc here. So just firstly, I mean, I'll just read them out loud, and I guess you can give some insight into why they've changed. So, we've added a new bunker to defend on the south base to help against base rushes. That's interesting. I mean, that speaks for itself, I guess. But the next slide shows red area, deleted buildings. Well, why have these buildings been deleted, Sturmpanther?
Yeah, that's about on the left side on this map, and in the middle one between the red stuff, that was a munition point, and always there was a lot of fights. The problem was north side had access to a building, or actually it was 2 buildings, who can shoot on the munition point. If you play from the left side, the south side, there is a destroyed building, so you can't jump in it, so you can't shoot as well. So we moved it away. Actually, you can't see it in the picture, but we put a house in it where you can shoot as well. So it's more balanced now from both sides.
Okay, so that's the buildings, and then I can see there's been a massive change to the graveyard area, to make it, I suppose, flow a little bit more easily, and to make it less of a camping spot. Is that the thinking behind it?
Yeah, you talk about the cemetery, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and indeed, we said, okay, that's camping is fake, and we want that people can flank and don't wait like you have Archie and King Tiger on this map. You want to fight from the first min, so we have more opportunities to flank in. Actually, we reworked it again a little bit, so the big walls in the north side are removed again. So there are the walls, but you have the small parts on the south side, and also we removed a lot of trees who was ugly to see and you can't walk as well. So yeah, it's more possible to flank.
They got in the camera's way a little bit, those trees, I remember. Another big change, of course, is the smoothed river. I remember this happened to Crossing in the Woods, which is another map, incidentally, that's been changed a little bit. But a smoothed river allows, obviously, more flanking potential, and just helps the flow of the map a little bit better. So that's cool to see that Trois perhaps is now going to be a little bit more open.
Yeah, what I want to say about is that we made it two-sided. This map is splitted now. On the right side, it will be like an island, so you can pass only on the right side if you go over the bridges. But on the left side, you don't need to use any bridges anymore. You can walk everywhere on the left side.
Excellent. So we've highlighted two maps for you today. We've had a 1v1 and a 2v2, but there are changes to 3v3 and 4v4 maps in this field. Which is the one that you would like people to check out the most, that you feel the most work has been done to? In the big team game maps?
That's a good question. Actually, in almost every 3v3 map, we made a lot of changes.
Really? Wow.
Yes, because I mean focus 3v3, so I know exactly how the maps was bad. So that was quite easy for me to balance it. Like
I think a lot of team game players will be quite excited, because I feel that, in my personal opinion, that team game maps have been woefully neglected by the community for the past 7 years. So it feels like finally that we've had some good changes here to make team game maps flow a little bit better. I mean, they've always looked great, but they've never really flowed very well, so that's cool to see. Just to wrap the interview up, Sturmpanther, are there any messages or anything about these changes that you really think people should know about in general? Or is there anything you want people to do to help you?
Yeah, what I can say generally, it's on all 3v3 maps, we cut a lot of fences and walls to make the pathing way better. Because in a lot of 3v3 maps, you had to climb and jump with your infantry over it. The problem is, your weapon teams can't do that.
No.
So that was a big problem. So actually, I think almost in every 3v3 and 4v4 map, we cutted some fences to have better pathing, which is important.
So that's just a general point you really think needs to be highlighted. That will, as I say, it's all about helping flow, and I believe flow is such an integral word of map making in Company Heroes. So it's great to see that we've had a lot of it heavily thought about for 3v3 and 4v4. So on behalf of the community, I'd just like to thank you, Sturmpanther, for all the work you've done.
Thank you, man.
And it's been a pleasure interviewing you. Hopefully everybody seeing this video can check out the new changes. I'll link the forum post in the description, and look forward to them being implemented in the December update. Thank you and goodbye.